Welcome to Edniestudios. In this video, we are come to learn how to do high-end retouching. We are come to learn how to transform this image into this. Please make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel for more amazing tutorials like this. Let's get started. So right here we are opening Photoshop. So you can see this photo, you can see these blemishes, and yeah, you can see these blemishes and stuff. So we are come to remove all these things and retouch it, as in the title, high-end retouching. We are come to do high-end retouching. So we first remove the blemishes. So you create a new layer, come to this panel and click on this to create a new layer, and we name it blemish. So we name it blemish. Then we go to this area, this panel, and we click for the spot healing brush tool. So I mostly use the spot healing brush tool. So we zoom in using this icon or Z. We zoom in a little to get more the most view of the blemishes, and we start click on it, and Photoshop does the job on its own. So you come here, you dab. Yeah, so I'm going to do a time lapse so that we can get this video to be shorter. So we are trying to remove as many blemishes as possible, so that it will make the retouching process very easy. So we continue to remove the blemishes. So we are done here, and there's it. So this before the blemishes and after the blemishes. So you can see the blemishes are removed. So after we remove the blemishes, we create a new layer, and we add all the layers into this layer using Ctrl Shift Alt E. So we add all into this, and we copy it by using Ctrl J. So we name this color, we name this details. So we are come to do frequency separation. So we switch off this layer, open, we click on color and go to filter. We come to blur gallery. So what we're doing here is we crank it all up to 0 or 0.1. Then we are making sure that you don't see any texture in this image. So we are come to crank up the radius until we see that there is no texture in the image, or there is almost no texture. So you go crank it up. I think about 1.6. I'm not seeing any texture. So then we click OK. We come to the details layer. We go to image, apply image. Then we use the blend mode, subtract. Then we subtract from this. So layer, we come here and we come to color. Then click. So we are subtracting the details from the color layer. Then we change the blend mode to linear light. And we group this layer. We group it and name it frequency separation. Frequency separation. So we've done all this. So when you close this layer, it still has the same results because we've just balanced the sort of, we've bled this and we've made this more detailed, so it has balanced. So to unview this layer, we unview this layer and it still has the same results. So we are now coming to do a frequency separation, add a frequency separation. But first, you go to Windows, come to Arrange, then you create a new layer for Acne. What this does is that it helps you. So before that, we come to app vertical. So we have a side-by-side image, and this one we make it very small. Come to this image, we make it very small. Make this image very small and make this to the size we want. So the use of this is that, let me create a new layer. When we apply change to this, it reflects here. But so the total use is how we apply it here in the zoomed mode. We want to see the effect it has when it is zoomed out. So it's just a check layer, something like a check layer. So we delete this layer and we go to brush and we use mixer brush. Mixer brush mixes the colors, so it mixes this color and this color sort of. So when you paint from here to here, it will mix these colors, it mixes them, creating an average color for you to paint over the image with. So set the wetness to 1 or 2, the low to 75, mix to 90, flow ranging from 15 to I think 25. How you want it to be or how you want it to affect the image, but I think I'm setting it to 20 or 21. Then we begin painting. So make sure the color layer is selected. Then we start painting. So you make sure you paint in the direction. So you come here. This place right here is going downwards like this. So you paint towards the down. You paint downward. Paint downward. Make sure you paint downward. So that's what we're doing here. this place is going horizontal to the right, so we paint to the right, and so that's how we do it. So you're seeing the effect it's having before and after. It's bringing some nice effects, making it look very good. So it paints. I'm going to do a time lapse so that this I'll not waste much of your time. But one rule in this, or let's say a guideline, is you make sure you don't paint away these small lines, otherwise it will make the image look flat. So see what it has done here. It has made the image look very flat. So you don't paint away, you don't do so. You just you just paint over this place, paint over the down, and that's all. You don't make sure you don't make the small lines disappear. Paint making sure you've smoothened out the place. You've make sure the skin is smoothing. Then that's all. We come down to the neck part and we paint. It's smoothing out, even out the skin, even out the skin. So we are done. So we can just we take this away. So just come to our original layer. So we are done here. So there's the before, the image or the face of the person. The skin is uneven. Then after we've tried to smoothen out the skin, we do a little touch here. Sometimes you can be doing it, but you know, see some places, so you can go for a break. You come back, then you see where you've gone wrong, and you try to fix it up. So yeah, I think we are done. So I think we are done here. So there's the before and there's the after. So yeah, a great job. So after this, we go to the next step. That's dodging and bending. So to dodge and bend, there are many ways to dodge and bend. So we are using the curve method. So we create a curve adjustment layer. We create a curve adjustment layer. We'll bring it somewhere here. Create a curve adjustment layer. So to dodge is to brighten up the image. So we increase the brightness of the image. Increase the brightness of the image. We name it dodge. So you click on the layer mask and invert it, Control I. Then we create another curve adjustment layer. and in this we name it burn, but in burning we make the image darker to boost the shadows, so we decrease the brightness. Somewhere here, making the image darker. Click OK. We click on the layer mask and invert it as well, naming it burn. So we can also create another layer, that's a black and white layer. What this does is a check layer to help you to know which places were bright and which places were dark. So we decrease the red channel, decrease it somewhere. Yeah, this is good. So this decreases the dark place, it makes the dark place darker, and you see the white places where the light is hitting, you see they are not dark. So we close this and we group this layer. We hold shift, click on the last one, we group it, name it dodging and burning, or just D and B. I like things to be short. So we open this. So I like to have a check layer. Just I like to have it, but you can choose not to. So I like to burn first. So we burn. Click on the burn layer mask. You change the brush to. We change this to a brush to send the opacity to 15, or so to 15. Then you change this place. You change to white. Use the white to reveal the burn layer. Then decrease all. So we zoom in a little. Then we start painting. Where there is black. So somewhere here. We paint black. But I think it's too much also. We paint black here. Make it a little darker. Make it a little darker. So that's it. So we uncheck this layer. You can see it has painted, but it's too much. So we can decrease the opacity of this layer to 180 or 70, just to give you the dark spots, but not too much. Must not be too much like when it was at 100. So just to give you that depth and make it not to bring it out from the flatness. You can decrease it further or leave it this way. If you don't want some places to be added, you change it, toggle through the black and the white using X. So we change to black, then we hide some of the layers which we don't want. So that's it. So we are come to dodge. So this I'm sending brightness to, I'm sending the flow to a 10, and then we dodge. So checking this layer back, then we dodge. So For this, we're painting on the white, we're painting on the lighter surface, making them brighter. So we come here and we paint, change to white, then paint. So on checking this layer, so it has made the places brighter. So made it brighter as usual. You can also decrease the opacity of this one too. You can uncheck, you can take out the places you don't want to be in there. I think that's it. So this dodging and bending, so it was there before and this is the after. It has added some, so you can decrease the dodging and bending if you want, just to add its lighting. Yes, a small touch. And we move to the next step, that's adding texture to the image. So we create a new layer, create a new layer. We go to edit, go to fill, add 50% gray, click enter. We go to filter, convert to smart objects, so that we add layers of filters on the destructively. Go to filter gallery, and we go to texturizer. So I'm using, so you can scale the texture down and upward. I'm just going to use 150. The relief, I leave it at 14. It's at 14. So you can also select the lightning source. I think my lightning source is at the bottom left of the image. The bottom left. And click enter. Wait, no. Okay, so you can double click and change and effect some changes into the filter. So you double click and rather it's at the top left. At the top left. So we click top left, and click OK. Change the blend mode to overlay. Then you create a layer mask. Invert the layer mask. Then you paint over the image where you want the texture to be with foreground color white. Opacity 11, okay. Then you start painting what you want. I want it to be somewhere here. You can paint it on the whole image if that's the retouching you're doing, but I just want it to be at small places. Just want to be on this place, maybe on the nose, this place. I think I'm just teaching how to apply. We've added some texture. I don't want enough of it. Just want to be small. I want to paint away from some places. Sorry. And that's it. So I've added a little bit of texture we've added a little bit of texture, and so after we've added this texture, we can further edit this picture. If you want it to be in a melanin form, as in dark, you want this dark rich melanin skin, you go to the black and white adjustment layer. Click on the black and white, you send down the red, click OK, and you change the blend mode to multiply. This gives you this melanin feel. Change the blend mode to multiply, so you get this dark melanin. Yeah, you get this dark skin. So you can copy to make it richer or something. Copy the layer, but I'm not going to do that. So you can just as me, I don't want it to be too much. You can get black here, but I don't really. You can do it, so I'm just teaching you the alternatives. Okay, you can also make the skin darker. This too bright. You go to curves, then bring in some contrast. You see, it has given this a nice skin tone. Bring down, has given the nice skin tone. You can also decrease the opacity of it if you don't like it, but I think this is good for me. If you don't like it to be too much, you decrease the opacity. So there is it, you decrease the opacity. And also you can go and do further editings in Camera Raw, increasing the brightness of the image. So let me just show you. You merge all the layers, Control Shift Alt E, go to filter, convert to smart objects first, then convert to camera, and then you click Camera Raw. So you can higher the exposure of the image, can higher and increase the exposure. You can also increase the contrast, so not that much. Increase the contrast a little bit. Can increase the highlights, decrease the shadows. I like bringing more shadows. Increase the shadows, and that does it. So click OK. That's really done some job there. So this how to retouch an image. So this was how the image was before, and this is now how the image is. So you can also retouch ellipse. So you create a new layer, merge, or I should have done it in the frequency adjustment, but so image or name this color. Name this color. You copy, Ctrl J, and details. So as we did for the first one, blur, this we subtract. We change to linear light. Let's call this let's just group this and call this the lips. So using the mixer brush, just want to even out the lips, make it look more uniform and nicer. So just mix paint over it. And that's it. So this was how the lips was, and this is how the lips is. If you don't want it, you can just leave it like this, but I just want to make the lips look more evenly colored. You can decrease the opacity if you want it to be lighter. So there's it. So this was how the image was initially, and this is how the image is now. Please make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel for amazing tutorials like this every week. See you in the next video. Peace.